Hey, what's up? I have never met a Tori in my entire life until this weekend, and I had 2 reconnections back to back with 2 Tories. I thought that was like really unusual.
I don't really
crazy.
know many Tories.
I met a Tory that was a dude one time, but
Yeah, I actually thought you were a dude.
Hell yeah! Yes! Video time! I put together a little Tory doubleheader.
I don't think I've ever shot 2 videos in the same day.
Yeah, it's a hot day. I'm hanging in the sunshine. You should hit me with the splash gun so I cool down. Won't you come on over? We can party till the sun's down. Baby, let me buy you a drink while we're dancing.
Tori with the EY is reconnected.
I am.
How was that?
I just feel like I just was given a gift from the universe.
You were given a gift by yourself. Given a gift by
That
yourself.
was so beautiful. It just happened.
You've been playing the greatest game in the universe, and your remote control hasn't been working. And now your remote control is going to be working.
That was incredible. Like, I don't really have any words because
That's cool. We don't need words.
it's like I could just tell that I was like being recalibrated and I just like I felt like this softness, like
I started laughing when I was editing this video because I was thinking about all the people that are going to stumble across this video. They made it through the intro. They have no idea what I do. And when they start seeing this, they're just probably going to be like, dude, what is this guy doing? Like, this is weird. This is like some voodoo cult, new age woo-woo type stuff. So I thought it would be interesting to go ahead and explain what I'm doing for the people that are new to my channel. I tell you what, I'm going to give you a blue pill version and a red pill version. The blue pill version is what I tell my neighbors when they ask what I do for a living. The red pill version is the truth, at least my truth. Blue pill version. You know what? Fuck the blue pill version. I'm going to give you the red pill version because I took the red pill many, many, many moons ago, and I will not, nor cannot, ever go back to viewing the world any other way. The red pill version goes like this. There is a frequency coursing through me that's flooding every cell in Tori's body. And this frequency is going to activate Tori's dormant DNA to wake up. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dormant DNA, this guy's watched too many episodes of Ancient Aliens.
There is a hidden code within our DNA, one that contains precise mathematical patterns and an unknown symbolic language
will be found within our own DNA. Finally, someone has come across the one piece of evidence that I've always said we need in order to prove the ancient astronaut theory.
You're right. I have seen several episodes of the Ancient Aliens, but what I'm trying to say, actually what I'm trying to show you in the only way I know how, which is by making these videos, is I'm living Ancient Aliens. I spent 44 years of my life completely asleep to my mission, just doing my thing, enjoying myself, going about my life, and then bam, I'm an antenna for a frequency that's reconnecting our DNA and healing our world. Now, if that isn't Ancient Aliens type shit, man, I don't know what is. So, what's the big deal about DNA? Our DNA is everything. It's our antenna. It's how we interface with the field of consciousness that connects us all. And our DNA has been hijacked.
Mankind's DNA was deliberately manipulated by an extraterrestrial intelligence sometime in the ancient past.
You might be thinking, this dude, what does he know about DNA? Well, I don't know much about DNA, but what I do know is scientists tell us that most of our DNA is useless junk. I really think that the reason we're so disconnected, we're so divided, that we feel so hollow inside is because our DNA was unplugged. I mean, I know that we have this low frequency programming that we're trying to deal with, but I'm telling you, if your DNA was firing on all cylinders, you'd stop believing 99% of the stupid shit you believe right now. So what am I doing right here? I'm taking these frequencies, I'm focusing them into a beam, and I am directing them through very specific energy points in Tori's body. I'm also tracing her meridian lines. Now, this is a 2-day process called the Personal Reconnection, and there's really nothing I could recommend higher for someone's own evolution. Reconnection's complete. Just lay there and chill for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the universe, it takes over. It was like yesterday when you first lay down. I turned around and I was looking for a little thing to clean my glasses.
Yeah.
And I turn around and I hear this.
I know. Right away I started, I'm like.
And I turned around and I was like, oh, you're just going to go ahead.
You're not even going to wait for me.
You're going to start without me, huh? Okay. So what was it that
why I'm here?
Yeah. I mean, because you really didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, I've been wondering for a while how it would be, but that just knowing, what the universe, it's so, you can't try to figure it out as much as we try to, and I still try to, but it's just I think for me, it's because I got into a healing journey, is what brought me, as a lot of people.
From a traumatic.
Yeah, I've had a lot of
It's
trauma.
usually that, yeah. It's usually like a big breakup or a health issue.
Or even stuff that happens when you're younger and you don't even recognize it. And then you go along for 20 years in life. And then I had a breakdown happen in my early 30s. So much we get that comes at us, so much stress. So I'm here because I'm wanting to further my healing. I feel I was telling you that I had that spiritual awakening that was so profound, back in 2011. And I literally felt like I awakened, and I was so sensitive after that, and just so I heard you mention in a video a while ago, you might be even more sensitive. I'm like, oh, I don't know, I don't want any more sensitivity, but at the same time, I recognize that's where I feel our common sense and our wisdom comes from. That's what I noticed when I became more sensitive. I think that sensitivity was always there, but you cover it up if you're drinking or doing other things, but when you get sober and you're like, holy shit, it's a lot.
Yep, totally. Were we talking yesterday about matching other people's frequencies? And was that you?
So we might have been. Well, I was mentioning to you about what my friend is going through and how I I haven't quite because that's something I want to work on, is being able to be around somebody that's and not go, because I recognize I used to do that and think that was a good thing, to go with and then it's no, that's not, because they need you to inspire them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I do think you're standing in your own frequency and not allowing others to create fluctuations in that will just get stronger and stronger.
What did you notice, when you went through all this? It's been 12, 15 years ago that you found
11 years.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I was kind of different. I had a really easy life.
Okay.
I didn't have any trauma. I wasn't raised in any religion.
That's good.
I was told I was loved. I was told that I could do anything that I wanted to do. I didn't have any walls put up. So when I went through this reconnection, I just instantly was different. And I knew that I'd been waiting my whole life for that. So, you know, I mentioned in a couple of my videos, I feel like I've taken like kind of like a wimpy, kind of like easy vacation life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was born to high school teachers, you know what I mean? I never really was born into like crazy money. But nothing but love.
Well, I feel like
You know?
we probably have different lifetimes than we choose. So you
Absolutely.
probably did maybe take a little bit of a break this time.
This is my vacation. I
Yeah.
have absolutely had just as many, well, I don't know, but I'm assuming that I've had just some horrendous lives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because you want to experience it all.
Yeah.
What are you going to learn from one life, dude? You're not going to
I
learn
know.
much.
It just is like, because I know when people like don't believe in reincarnation, it's like really like somebody's, you know, in a wheelchair and that's like the only life they get. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't like that statement, life's not fair, because I feel like, you know, maybe in one lifetime it's not, but I bet you over
Yeah, from this
many
perspective,
that it is.
it's not fair.
Yeah.
But from 1,000 of these,
Yeah,
it
big
starts
picture.
taking on a different meaning.
Yeah, I heard you say in one video, like you were explaining how like that friend of yours was telling you, yeah, you should go to this guy for an adjustment, and then like you didn't end up going, and then you realized like 10 years later, oh, if I had went, Eric Pearl's office was right there.
Totally.
It's so interesting how the timelines, how we're given opportunities.
We are given opportunities, and
Yeah.
the door's there, and if you don't walk through it, there'll be another door.
Yeah, later
There
on.
will be another door. Don't beat yourself up.
Yeah.
I think not beating myself up is probably one of the biggest things that I've noticed in myself. And I was always comparing myself to others. And like when I play golf for a living,
Mm-hmm.
all I wanted to do was be on the PGA Tour.
Okay.
And so through traveling and playing the mini tours, I would have roommates that I would travel with. Everybody that I was around made it, but me. How come it's not happening to me?
Right.
It happens to everybody I'm around. And I was like, so there was always that like
what
comparing
is this?
myself to others, like what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, I was an artist in New York City. And I had what I thought was some really interesting, you know, unique artwork that, you know, if you saw it, people would be like, oh my God, how'd you do that? What is that?
Cool.
And then I would have these friends that have these big shows, and I don't know, you know, they would have a big white canvas and they would stencil like "buy me" on it, and they would sell for like 20 grand. And I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So, you know.
That's so interesting.
And, you know, then we have our own insecurities about our body that
Yeah.
we're always comparing ourselves to others.
Mm-hmm.
I still do that, you know, not nearly as much as I did, you know, when I was younger. But, you know, that's still,
it's still
there's a
present.
residual there.
Yeah.
I care way fucking less than I used to.
Yeah.
Probably the only reason I care is because I'm on friggin' YouTube and like people see me. You know what I mean? If it was just my personal life,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't give a shit.
Kinds of people, because
We
it's
need
like
more.
we were talking about yesterday, like you don't resonate. Like I don't really resonate with people that are super charismatic, because I'm like, I don't know, like.
I don't have that in me. So it's that charisma that
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's not fake to them, but I feel like I would be faking it if I was like, hey,
Right.
welcome to the show. How you doing? Like that's just not in me, man.
I know.
I don't want to do that.
You people have a lot of dopamine or something.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how you're that up. I was wondering, like, because you seem like a happy person. Were you always happy then, or did you get like happier after you found the reconnection?
No, man, I was happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was happy. Yeah, it was weird because that's what I put out into the universe. Like, for some reason, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but I had this little saying that I would put out in the universe, and I probably put it out there 5,000 times in my life. I'm making that up.
Mhm.
But a lot.
Yeah.
And that saying was, I don't care if I end up being a welder, living in a trailer in Arizona, I'm going to be happy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Is it? Is it?
But it's like we were talking about yesterday. It's like you could like, you know, get your own business going and you think that's going to make you happy. But if you're feeling,
That's true. That's true.
you know, it's like,
That's true.
but it's both though too. Cause it's like, you can't be going along doing something that does not fit you.
I mean, if I was living in a trailer, being a welder, being happy, then that is a successful life.
Yeah, then that shows you that you're really happy.
But what I've found is that putting that out in the universe, that I don't care about money, limited abundance in my life. I believe that. You know what I mean? Like I just believe that it was very empowering as far as being happy, but very limiting as far as bringing abundance.
I'm wondering, like, with getting this Tesla, if it's gonna help you to feel.
Oh, it will have to. Like I don't care about cars because I'm driving a 2003 Dodge Durango.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, and I can afford a nicer car than that.
Yeah.
But there's a part of me that it's just time to just like I would rather drive a Tesla. Even though I probably drive like 15 miles a week.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But those 15 miles a week, I want to like.
You're gonna love it.
I'm going to love it.
You might be taking some Sunday drives.
What I've been having a challenging time is still justifying that I bought it. Do you really need it? Do you really? And why do I have to even justify it?
I know.
Why
do we
I
do that to
feel like-
ourselves?
Yeah.
I do that to myself too, and the way I justify a lot of stuff is I figured out my biggest thing that I value in life is spiritual growth, learning. So I'm always justifying, well, if I'm gonna learn from that experience, then I should be able to.
Yeah.
But like, why do I even have to go through that in my head, and then I'll pick it back up again later? And
Yeah.
go over it again, justifying it.
Yeah.
Because this like reconnection, it's helping raise our vibration, right? And
Absolutely.
And essentially it will like, stay there.
Well, it's making this, I believe that I like to say you have your higher self. Your higher self is vibrating way higher than you are.
Yeah.
Way higher. So as that connection gets clearer, you raise higher because you start to know. You know what I mean? Like,
That
I don't even know how to say it.
That makes sense, because that might be then why when sometimes we start to go the wrong direction and there's like red flags and we're really feeling it and it's like this like resistance, it's because our higher self, like the difference.
Totally.
We're trying to force ourselves to do something that it's like we actually, our higher selves knowing like, no, don't do that. You know, it's like you wonder like the higher beings that are like here right now, they're just like laughing, like they try to figure it out. Like they're kind of close, warmer.
I'm sure they're getting a big kick out of us.
Yeah. With our little brains.
Sure, we are quite amusing to them.
I know.
Well, I guess we should do your session. How was your session yesterday?
Let's get to it. Well, you know, it was funny. After it was over, you're like, how was that for you? I'm like, well, it was peaceful. Really? That's not how it looked. But it felt that way internally. It did. I felt like my body was working through some stuff. So
Good.
Must be why, like externally, I look like that.
Yeah. When we get down, I'm like, so how was your session? She was, oh, it was so peaceful. I was like,
and you look at me like, what?
Peaceful? It didn't look peaceful.
Yeah.
But no, that's I love that about this is what you're feeling.
Yeah.
And what your body's doing is different.
Yeah, I mean, the universe was giving me what I needed. Like,
you were getting exactly
a bunch of stuff that I've held on for.
Yeah.
That's the whole point in healing, and I think that's why a lot of people don't end up getting healed. I think we'll start to now with these different modalities, these frequencies, but I think that's why people stay stuck. Sometimes people their whole life never get to release stuff. So I think that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always fascinated why people show up.
Dude, I just found out about you 3 weeks ago.
Oh my God,
I
really?
had no clue who you were.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this is like, I gotta do this now.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It was like...
We're like the same. That's the way I would be. I would be like, oh, dude, I'm doing this. I don't care what I have to do.
Exactly.
So what did you think when you found out that I did this remotely also?
Well, I was a little confused on that because in the thing it says a personal reconnection has to be done in person.
Yep, it does.
And so I was like, oh, I'm going to do that. That's what I need to do. But the others remotely and everything, and I know you can do it remotely because I tapped into that.
Yeah.
And had an out-of-body experience. And when I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I heard case.
Yeah.
Adjustment.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm booking I'm getting my plane ticket. I'm booking everything.
Yeah, you kind of reminded me, you were so excited when you got here, that, because I started doing these quantum reconnections. In my opinion, if someone's reaching out for this connection, and they cannot possibly make it for the in-person one, I cannot see the universe going, oh, it's not going to work. Like, that's ridiculous. You know, like, that's absolutely ridiculous. But when you showed up yesterday, you reminded me for some reason that those journeys are, they're magical.
They are.
Yeah.
And they're part of the whole process.
They're part of the whole process,
and it's just, I even, when I was downtown yesterday, I got a little magnet that says, love the journey.
Yeah, nice.
Like, oh, that's so fitting.
Nice.
So,
Because that's it.
yeah.
I can't wait to see what
wonderful.
happens with you and your life, because it sounds like you're on your path.
I'm taking off in new directions, and I wanted to ask you about this. Now, I know I'm supposed to do something with energy. I know that. I did Reiki 1 and 2. What if this is something that's really calling me? Where do I go from here? I wish you gave classes.
I don't get classes. I get to ask that all the time.
Wish you did, but I understand.
Yeah,
Okay, here's why I don't teach this. I always wanted to teach. 2012, I got trained. 2013, I became a mentor. 2014, I became a teaching assistant. But in 2015, I moved my family down to the Yucatan in Mexico, and I never got invited to any more training seminars. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it just wasn't meant to be. But you know what? It really worked out much better for me, because now I have my YouTube channel. I don't actually teach this work, but I do teach in my own way, and I have complete artistic freedom to teach whatever I want, however I want. So, yes, I did want to teach for them. And you know what? Once I started doing the group sessions, I think maybe they put a little distance between me and them, because this is really taught to be a one-on-one type of work, but I absolutely know for a fact that the group sessions can be just as effective as the personal sessions. And once I started doing the quantum calibrations, which in my opinion is a remote version of the personal reconnection, I think that was I don't think they'll ever let me teach this. So, okay, that's why I don't teach.
So let me ask you, how many of your clients have gone on to pursue this as
is going on to pursue
to
go through all the classes?
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I would have to guess.
Yeah.
Easily a 50, maybe 100. And I've never gotten paid a referral fee for any. I've never asked from the reconnection.
Wait a minute. Because it's funny, it's like every time I think about it or whatever, I'm just feeling it in my hands more so than anywhere else.
Yeah.
My hands are just like super vibrating. And then last night I was laying in the bed and it was like someone had their thumb and was just drawing a circle right here in my hand.
I love that feeling.
And I was just like,
it's like the greatest feeling.
I know.
Yeah,
And it's like, I'm
yeah.
supposed to do something.
But see,
like this.
that's the thing is, you're doing it. You're doing it right now. You've been doing it. You're just not conscious of it.
Right.
If you can feel these frequencies, you're an antenna for them. Fucking period. Like there's no ifs and buts. You can work as a barista at freaking Starbucks, and if you can feel these frequencies, you're sending this frequency out to everybody that walks in that place. And people will probably like you. And they'll probably go up and tell you stuff that they don't tell other people. And they'll feel comfortable around you. That's because you're a healer, and that's because you're doing this. That's one of the differences between Reiki. So she lays down, and I go over there. I'm looking for like this cloth to clean my glasses. And I'm like looking where it's at, and I hear, and I'm still looking here. And I'm like, and I turn around, and she's like,
She's already started.
I'm over there trying to clean my glasses. Like, that doesn't happen with Reiki.
No.
That doesn't
No, it does
happen
not.
with Jin Shin or Chai, like, whatever. That doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing something else. I'm not even, like, that's what I'm saying is like, this is big.
I mean, just being from walking into this room just takes me to another level, you know, and I just feel it all in my body. And you hadn't even started.
I'm not doing it.
It's already there.
It's here.
Yeah.
It's waiting for you. It's not me. I'm just like this aloof, like you said, you can feel it when you walk in this room. And people will feel it when they walk in your house. And when you're waiting in line at the grocery store, people will feel it when they're standing around you.
Yeah.
And they will feel it. And they won't even know what the hell's going on. They're like, what's going on? I feel something. Little knows that Tori is standing in front of them in line, getting ready to pay for your groceries. It's just coming through you because that's what you do. You're just an antenna. It's you. It's you being. It's your love. It's you. And that's one thing people have always said that. People always feel comfortable when they come. Even when I was in college, even when I was a kid, like people always felt comfortable in my house. Mm-hmm. And now I get it. Now I understand. Like it's because it's our field. Like we have this field and it makes people feel comfortable. It makes them feel at home. It makes them feel there's something happening. Mm-hmm. Like your field and my field are so fucking big right now. Like we are spilling out into that house next door, and like literally we're probably about 30 feet in diameter, our true field. And we can't see that. I can't see that. You see that? I don't see that.
No.
But it's there. It's totally there. And I think this process makes you feel bigger. So that's what I'm saying is like, that's why when I tell people, I go, you're always doing this. Mm-hmm. You're not conscious of it. Mm-hmm. This helps you become more conscious of what you're already doing. And so you've always had this big field around you. But you weren't aware of it. Mm-hmm. You weren't aware of it.
I feel it expanding as my growth happens. I truly feel it expanding.
Yep, totally. And not only are, when we heal, we're actually healing the space.
Yes.
Like Eckhart Tolle says, negative events and negative things, they create like these thought forms that almost hover like a cloud in a space where things have happened. Like on a war field, a field where there was a war and a bunch of people died. There's like these thought forms that hang around there. Mm-hmm. And if you walk through that field, that shit starts to heal. You're healing this space. You're healing the thought forms. You're healing everything. And I think we start healing our heritage. We start healing our parents, their grandparents, your great-grandparents, in all directions.
I knew I was going to do that 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I just knew somehow, some way I was going to do that. I was going to repair the energetic DNA from just all the negative stuff that had happened throughout the family line. And this is before I knew about energy work. I mean, I was just so asleep back then. You know? I had no idea, but I knew I was going to do it.
That's like, I think I was telling you yesterday, or was it the other Tori? I was talking about when I literally look at my child and I see, not always, but I see them as this magnificent being of consciousness that chose me to be their dad. And there they are in the physical, sitting right in front of me. And it's like this thing, like, oh my God, you're real. Like, this is fucking real. Like, oh my God. And then you realize everything you say to them is affecting them. And then it's going to affect everybody that they interact with and everybody that they interact. So every word that I'm saying is changing the entire universe. And you're just like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, oh my God, this is like the greatest thing ever. It's a trip. It's a trip. Thank God we're asleep. Like literally, it's fun to just like forget and just to be an isolated person observing things instead of seeing the ramifications and the beautiful connections and everything.
We're here to be human. We can't just forget about that side of us.
I mean, I get those glimpses throughout the day, every day, but I don't live in it 24/7. You just sit there like Eckhart Tolle on the bench, just like in ecstasy, just watching people like walk by, you know what I mean? It's like, so, who knows, maybe we're wrong. Maybe like in 20, 30 years, we live in that state. I mean, who knows? Probably. Maybe 100 years.
Maybe a little bit more than that.
Yeah, maybe 1,000 years. But I don't know why I say that, because I do kind of live that. Like, the people I meet are nice. Everybody I meet's nice. I guess what I'm saying is, like, I'm sure the people that I interact with have some very low frequency beliefs, but they're never exhibited when I'm around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I bring out the higher frequency aspect of them because they have to match my sphere.
Mm-hmm.
They have to match my energy. So, I don't know. I remember my mom saying to me over and over, people are doing the best they can. Like in their situation with what they know and all the pressures that they have, people are doing the best they can. So I kind of really always saw people in a really positive view, like they're doing the best they can. Even assholes like, oh well, he probably didn't get any love as a kid and probably had some, probably just found out his wife's cheating on him or something like that. I was always kind of like looking at the best possible scenario for people. I think that was from my parents. But then the reconnection happened, and then I realized that, not only is that true, but we're magnificent spiritual beings, and this is a fucking game. And how's it getting better than this? This is better than any science fiction movie that you could ever possibly come up with, and it's real. It's happening. So, okay, you ready? Your reconnection's complete.
Whoa.
Do you have any sensations?
No, not a one. Oh my gosh, that was so different from yesterday.
Yeah, they usually are.
That was more hardcore.
Yeah.
More just, I didn't get the tingly love like I got yesterday. It was like, okay girl, we're taking you home. Yeah. We're here.
Good trick. Good trick.
Thank you.
You're reconnected.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right.
It's getting kinda crazy up in here. Got that DJ playing music everybody wants to hear, yeah. It's getting kinda crazy up in here. Everybody wants to ride in the water.